And we are back on Sportsman Radio. I'm your host, Chris Shanafel, and I am now joined by Arizona Cardinals rookie nose tackle out of Florida A&M University, Padric Scott. Thanks for joining the show, Padric. How's it going?
It's going great. Thanks for having me. It's a blessing. It's hot in Arizona, but everything is good.
Hey, man, it's my pleasure to have you on. I want to start this interview off by talking a little bit about your college days, as you actually attended Stanford University, but you decided to transfer to Florida A&M. Is that right?
Yes, sir. That is correct.
And why did you decide to change schools?
At the time, I just felt like, certain things in the environment just wasn't right for me at the time. And I knew I just wanted to be a place where I wanted to succeed. I just felt at the time it was the place for me. And so, having left home to go all the way across country, I just felt like maybe, it's time for me to go back home and, go back to Florida A&M, where I'm a third-generation rapper with my grandparents, with my parents, where I have so much tradition, where I actually always wanted to go. But, as I got older, just thought I wanted to get away from home. But as I got, through that first year of college, I realized it was really the place for me. So transferring back home for me was a great decision. It's something that I never regret and something that I love from you.
And yeah, you said you're from Florida. You're from Tallahassee, Florida, and the University of Florida A&M is located in Tallahassee. What was it like to return home and continue your success there?
I mean, honestly, words can't even express the feeling, playing back in Tallahassee, Florida. Like I said, for me, I never missed a game growing up. My dad's a team dentist for FAMU. Parents met at FAMU. Brother, sister went to FAMU. So my grandma would always call me and tell me, beat the Wildcats, beat this team. My mom always tell me, you can't come home unless you beat them. So it was just so much family pride in the family. So just to step on Bragg Stadium field and give it all I had every time just really, truly meant so much to me.
Man, that's great. Was there any major differences between the two universities, Stanford and Florida A&M, that you could talk a little bit about?
I think the major differences that you see a lot of times between a major school and a smaller FCS school are probably just the resources that are available. And, a lot of people, I've often seen a lot of times, even something you can see where people have gotten complacent, where they have everything already at their feet. But I think one reason, FCS players or small school guys do so well is because we've had to make a lot out of them, little. So when you come to this level where it's all presented to you, you don't take things for granted. You don't take having a huge coach for granted, a huge hot tub for granted, a better weight room. That's about the only difference that I can really say is just the resources available. However, the resources are there, and if you take advantage of it, you can accomplish anything you want.
Yeah, I hear you on that one, man. And Padric, can you tell us about that first quarterback sack that you had at Florida A&M?
Man, my first sack at FAMU, I think it was my sophomore year. I believe I was playing Howard. Matter of fact, I think we were up in Howard, my first sack. And, man, it was no greater feeling than to have it. Because I played offensive line in high school. I played defensive line as a freshman, and I played O-line my 10th through 12th grade year. So it had been so long since I had a sack. So just coming off the ball, spurring off the ball, I took him upfield, gave him the Reggie White hunt move, came back inside and just smacked him. And it felt so good to get up and scream. My parents was in the stands watching me up in D.C. Man, words really can't even just express how it felt to get that first sack back in town.
Now, during your collegiate football career, you recorded 78 tackles, 10 sacks, 13 tackles for losses, and 4 forced fumbles. Now, as a nose tackle, do you think that too much is focused on stats?
It definitely is. My coach would tell you I have the dirtiest job on the team. And that has to be the focal point at the defense. I'm the first line of defense when it always comes down to it. You can ask the guys that I play with, they always come and thank me, for my job, because, normally I was getting blocked probably about 80% of the time by 2 and the rest about 3 people. So it's kind of hard to get the stat counts you want to see when you only, when you're being blocked by 2 or 3 people every time. I don't care what level you're playing at. 2 or 3 people are 2 or 3 people. That's 700 to 900 pounds block you at a given time, trying to make something happen. So the real nose tackles, you're going to face a lot of adversity. You're going to face 2-3 man front slot protection. Doesn't do anything to stop you from being so disruptive. So you can't really put too much in it. However, you put what is in it by how everybody else around you is done. You can look at guys like my linebacker Brandon Hepburn, who's with the Detroit Lions now, the year that he has. So he'll tell you just we were that tandem, and just everybody paying attention to me, they made a mistake and allow him to roam and have fun on them. So can't really, like you said, put too much into the stats and just look at how more so the productivity and the play of that player.
Now, Pedro, can you tell us a little bit? Can you tell us what the difference is between a nose tackle and defensive tackle? Is it the system? Like, what is exactly the differences between those two positions?
It depends more so of alignment. Okay, so say in a 4-3 defense, you're going to have a one technique, you're going to have a three. The one technique is more similar to a nose tackle. The three technique, however, is going to be the guy that you see on defensive line who has the better stats because they're going to be isolated or so one-on-one blocks. So a lot of times they'll have what you call a two-way go where they can work in the B gap or A gap on pass rushes. Warren Sapp really made that three technique position a lot really famous. Or, the guys with a one technique, even in a one, he can only be blocked by two. But however, when you play in a true zero technique out of a 3-4, when you line up right over the center, both guards can come down to you at any given time. So you never really know where the protection is coming from, where you're getting blocked from. A lot of times with us, when we have 3-man rushes at the film, I would always face three guys at once. It'll be days when we'll go to what's called our eagle front and found. Let's slide me over to one. Then you only know it's two people. And it's only that backside guard that can come down on you. But when you're in a true zero technique, anything goes. Anything goes. Sometimes I've had times where I've been blocked by center two guards, beat them, and then there's a running back waiting on me. So, it's definitely a hard thing to do.
I was always just curious about that. I wasn't really sure exactly what the difference was. But, Patrick, what was your all-time favorite college moment?
My favorite college moment for me is probably, it's definitely a tie between three. One, we played Southern in the Atlanta Classic. We was down by at least 20-some odd points. A lot of our fans had left the stadium. And as a defense, we just turned it on, kept getting turn after turnover. And on the last drive, we went up. It was the second down. And I never forget it. Pressing the center, he blocked me to two. I broke past the guard, pancake the center myself, and just smacked the quarterback. That sent me to a third and long situation where they had to throw the ball, and we got an interception to win the game. That definitely sticks out. The next one definitely has to be my last FAMU homecoming against North Carolina Central. I think that game I had at least 6 tackles and 2 sacks. And for FAMU, the HBCU homecoming is a very big deal. My entire family was there. Brother, sister, mom, dad, cousins, grandparents, everybody was there. And so just to have that kind of performance, the fight to the finish, it was a defensive game. I was a turnover ball in the offense. It was the thing where the defense had to step up. Now, I love being in those positions where the defense had to step up. And I think the third memory is clinching the 2010 BA title, and share with the Bethune-Cookman in South Carolina State. But then again, we was down by a lot. And I remember pressuring the quarterback. He tried to run away from me. My defensive end hit him so hard. I think he broke his collarbone and he fumbled. And after that, we came back from like a 20-point deficit. He won a share in the championship. So, those are 3 memories that stick out the most to me.
Oh, man, that sounds great. Now, Patrick, how would you describe your overall college experience? Overall, both school-wise and football-wise.
It was amazing. It's something I would never take back for anything. In the classroom, just giving it all I had. It was hard, managing with a full, football schedule, which a lot of people don't know is morning to night. And so I majored in biological, molecular cell biology, graduated with a 3.3 GPA, then went on to grad school, which I played my senior year of football out in grad school. I had a 3.8 GPA, because a lot of things had clicked by then. I already had taken undergrad courses, so now it was just a graduate level of biology. So by then I was well acquainted, so I had 3.8 GPA. Football to me, was a success. School was social life, when I did have time, see people, hang out, whatever, that was cool. So I could, that experience, that family was something I never give away, something I never regret. Because it was just a complete, total situation where I certainly enjoyed myself all the way around.
Oh, man, we have a mutual friend in Max Strauss from Pro Interviews, and you did an interview with him not too long ago, and he tells me that you're a genius, and I kind of understand where he's coming from.
God is good. He blessed me with parents who, they might have said, my mom would tell me if I got a B in high school, I couldn't play football. So, in high school, that was to my senior year, and she wasn't too mad. So, so for me, my parents always made sure for me growing up that it was school first. So, going to college with my dreams aspirations being in the NFL, however, I knew I had to take care of business.
Hey, man, that's awesome. You guys are listening to Sportsman Radio. I'm your host, Chris Schanfeld, talking with Arizona Cardinals nose tackle Padric Scott. Padric, you decided to enter the 2013 NFL Draft, but went undrafted. Did you expect to get drafted at some point?
I did. I honestly did. The Cardinals had called out. I thought I may have gone late 6th or the 7th. But, it didn't happen. And I understand it's a business, so, it's not something I'm salty about at all. But, I think everybody has that feeling, the dream of wanting to get drafted. But, it didn't happen. So, for me, I just constantly use it every day as motivation.
And can you tell us about that phone call you received by the Arizona Cardinals?
As far as as far as the free agency contract?
No. Just like what it was like to, answer that phone, and what did I would expect the general manager of the Arizona Cardinals tell you?
Basically when the draft was over, our agent called me. And, he told me, he said, hey, they want you. He said, told you at the end of the day, they'll probably be the best team for you, because I know my trainer told me, he had called me, and he had called me that morning. I think the GM called me that morning, and the coach, my D-line coach, had called me in that draft. So it was pretty much they told me the most throughout the draft that I heard from. And, he said, they didn't draft any defensive tackles. He said, that's major. He said, you want to go somewhere with us, that's the interest more so in you than anybody else. Because, financially, had they taken the D-tackle, that would have made the situation, I guess, not as good for me. But they did. Mm-hmm. So, once looking at that, I really didn't have any more questions. I pretty much, my interest be known as soon as the draft was over. They had already extended the offer. And so, as soon as it was over, the agent called me, let me know everything was going on. I said, I want to be a Cardinal. To me, it'll be a great situation. I was familiar, with the D-line coach. My coaches used to talk a lot about them because they played with them in college and the pros. So, just knowing that the technicians that my coaches in college were, to be with another great coach and have the opportunity to develop and flourish under him. In a situation, like I said, not too many D-tackles being on the roster, it was just something I couldn't pass up.
Now, you guys have a really good rookie class, one of my favorite rookie classes of the year. How was rookie minicamp?
Oh, man. Rookie minicamp was awesome. You could definitely see, and everybody said it wasn't like this to me coming from Boston. We all had that same transition to make everything was faster. Everybody was good, nobody was slacking. They threw the playbooks at us. I think we all caught on pretty fast. Just walking around the field and watching how fast everything went, it was amazing to witness. I think you can see why the windows are so small and they're still now because defenses are so complex, offenses are complex, the players are smarter, the players are bigger, the players are faster. So everything was like bullets was flying. So, you just had to be, well deep into the playbook in order to slow everything down. So when players are called, you can line up and let your talent take over, and not line up second guessing yourself. So rookie minicamp was really very competitive. I love this class. There's a lot of great players in this class, and I hope we can do great things for the Cardinals. And, of course, OTAs are currently going on. Both the rookies and veterans are working out there. How are those going? They're going great. We're now into next week we'll start OTA 7. So, OTAs are going well. Like I said, the thing I love about rookie minicamp, it kind of got you prepped going into OTAs and what to expect. And so for me, I just make sure every night I'm in my playbook at least for an hour, trying to stay ahead of the game, stay ahead of the curve. These vets, they've been around for a long time. They know this stuff. They're seeing what they can catch on faster with the newbie. So, and understanding that and understanding my position and me trying to make the team, make the 53-man roster, I just try to put in every ounce of work that I can that's going to allow me to have a great day the next day. This is a very talented team that you're going to be helping out and joining, Padric, and you know that. What does nose tackle Padric Scott bring to the Arizona Cardinals? I feel like I bring the dominant force, the disruptive force up the middle. It's funny because the guy from the team called me Baby Dan, Little Dan, after the starting nose tackle that's here. We do it so much alike. There's something I think similar to him, but just the fact that you're being very disruptive at the point of attack. Somebody who was great at, stopping the run, however, can still rush the passer. I feel like, a complete player, who plays with leverage, who plays with power, who plays with quickness, who plays with explosion and quick step off the ball to make things happen. So I just think that disruptive force is what I bring to the table. Hey, that sounds good, and you know what? I think that's a pretty good comparison. Padric Scott and Dan Williams. I don't know if you know this or not, Padric, but I actually had Dan on the show maybe a year ago, and as you know, he's a very talented defensive tackle, and
I think that's a pretty good comparison, wouldn't you say?
I do appreciate, Dan's a great guy. He's a great mentor to have. All the time throughout practice, he takes me on his way and pull me to the side, tell me something that I could have did better, and I just try to make it happen. So he's definitely a great mentor to have on the field.
Hey, man, I really appreciate your time on the show. I have just a few quick, fun questions to get to know you a bit, and then I'll let you go. Does that sound good?
All right.
All right, what is your favorite TV show and movie?
I definitely say it's Top Gun. That's my all-time classic. Between me and my brother, we can always watch, Top Gun and enjoy it. Pretty much know a lot of the word for word throughout the whole movie. TV show, probably just Sports Center. Probably just Sports Center.
Hey, you're going to be seeing some of your clips and highlights on there in the future, isn't that right?
Amen. Definitely so.
Now, you're a nose tackle, man, so, I know you like to eat. What is your favorite food?
Oh, hands down, my favorite food, my favorite food. I can eat this every day is steak. Anything with steak, steak and potatoes, steak, broccoli, I don't care. Just steak. I love steak, medium rare. The best way to have it cooked.
Favorite thing to do in your free time?
Favorite thing to do in my free time before coming to the NFL was playing video games. So right now, I kind of got that time. So with the study, we staying in my playbook, but definitely playing video games, playing NCAA 2013, playing Madden, Need for Speed games like that.
I'll just tell you this right now, man. You don't want none in any Madden or 2K or any of that, man.
Oh, man. Whenever you want it, it's on.
Hey, we'll have to do that. Now, Padric, you're on Twitter at Padric_Beast. Why do you make it important to connect with your fans?
What did you say?
Why do you make it important to connect with your fans?
This is a fan base league. So many supporters, just like they even go out in the community just to see the support that, Bird Gang has around here. You got to stay connected with your fans. I understand how a person could get to the point where they feel like they're too big not to. Because, at the end of the day, they show so much love. They show so much support. So it's only right that you do this and, reciprocate and give the same thing back. Now,
you mentioned Bird Gang, and I'm actually from Chicago. I'm a Chicago Bears fan, but I'm also a pretty big Arizona Cardinals fan, and I see other teams like the Philadelphia Eagles, and I know there's a few teams out there that they kind of steal that hashtag Bird Gang, and last time I recall, I think the Arizona Cardinals were the team that actually made that up.
I think Docky actually coined it first. So, that definitely is something that belongs to the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, man, I love that. Now, Padric, if you were able to meet any famous person, who would that be and why?
Any famous person would probably have to be Mean Joe Green. Just because, he epitomized what it was to be a nose tackle, a defensive tackle, to that disruptor, that get off, he's like the forefather of it to me, in my eyes. He's the best at it. He's the best to ever do it. He's somebody, I would love to meet one day. I'm actually friends with one of his old teammates, Mr. Mel Blunt, because his son goes to my school. I'm real cool. His son's like a little brother to me, a kid. And he's talked about meeting him before, and I just always like, man, I would love to meet Mean Joe Green, because, he's the best that ever, he's the best that's ever done it.
Yeah, he most definitely was. He's on the Hall of Fame for nothing. And last but not least, Padric, what is something about nose tackle for the Arizona Cardinals, Padric Scott, that many people don't know about?
Man, just a servant of the Lord, first and foremost. That's the major thing to me in my life. God has given me all, so it's only right that I try my best to give all to Him.
Hey, Padric, you sound very worked up. I know you sound very excited for this upcoming season. I'm wishing nothing but the best, and I'm sure you'll do great.
Thank you so much, sir.
All right, take care.
You have a blessed day.
Right back at you, man.